Well, hey there guys, it's Doug from Geek Acres back with our final installment of our look at Disney Infinity, and we have been looking at the Toys to Life games. I have been looking at Infinity, and Leo Lego Toy, of course, is running down his view of the Skylanders games, and we are up to Infinity 3.0. This was the final chapter of Disney's Toys to Life game, and unfortunately it kind of came to a close, I think, even before they had intended to. But one of the big draws to Infinity 3.0 was the inclusion of Star Wars. And so tonight I'm going to kind of run you through some of the Star Wars figures that I picked up. Of course, starting off with Luke Skywalker. And the Jedi are very cool with their lightsabers and everything like that. Talk a little bit more about that as we move on through the collection. But there's Luke, and he's got his pouch. Kind of his classic farm boy look. And then we've got Princess Leia. Now it's interesting, as we make our way through, you're going to see that we are starting off with the classic figures, but eventually we really kind of branch off into all of the great stuff that they've been doing with Star Wars for the last couple of years. Love this figure, especially with the blaster. Not a whole lot of detail on the back side of Leia, but she does have her hood there. And the classic buns. You gotta love the Princess Leia buns on her head. We do have in our collection Han Solo. I was never able to find Chewbacca. And if I ever find him at a convention or something like that for a decent price, I might pick up Chewie. If you're going to have Han, you got to have Chewie, right? Some really nice detailing there on the pants. You've got the classic blue pants with a red stripe running down the side. A blaster pistol. Very nicely done. And of course, chasing Han Solo, Boba Fett. I'm trying to remember, I think Boba Fett was an exclusive character we got when we got this particular version of 3.0. I believe we got it through Amazon, and it came with Boba Fett. He's got his rocket pack on the back with the missile and everything. I really love the look of this figure with the cape flowing out in the wind and everything. It's really just kind of spot on. So now we'll move from the classic figures to the prequel figures. Darth Maul, busting out the double-bladed lightsaber. Again, some really nice detail, and he's got his Sith robes flowing all around him there on the desert planet. And again, as with some of the other figures that we've seen, different bases denoting different installations of the Star Wars saga before he was Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. He's got his lightsaber. And of course you can't have Anakin without having Snips. There's Ahsoka Tano, and she's got her dual lightsabers. Really, really like this. Very sharp. And speaking of sharp figures, this has got to be, I think this is my all-time favorite of all of the figures that I have. And they have done several of the Rebels figures. I don't know if they got to all of them before the game was finally canceled. I love this figure. I mean, this could stand up as a collectible in and of itself. Love the detailing there on the trooper helmet. All of the paint on the armor. Just really cool. Very happy with the way this one turned out. Glad I was able to get it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but again, some of the blue-green highlights to her hair like you would see on the TV show. And that brings us to our last two figures, and they are part of a series we've already talked about, but I wanted to bring them out last because these are figures that actually light up. when you put them on the base. We've got Darth Vader, and again, unfortunately, I can't really show you too well here, but when you set these figures down on the base to put them into the game, the chip underneath is able to somehow conduct energy into the figure, and the lightsabers light up. And these were, I believe, called light effects. And the interesting thing was, when they brought these figures out, each one was exclusive to a certain store. So I believe Darth Vader was Toys R Us, and I know I got Yoda at Target in the closing days of the game after they had announced its cancellation. I found a bunch of these at a particular Target when we were on vacation. And so I was really glad to be able to pick it up, not only to have one of these light effects characters, but got it at a really great deal. And I mean, that's the case right now. If you can still find these figures, I know they're floating around at our local Walmarts at a really good price. And I think GameStop even has a bunch of them. And of course, they're marked down because the game is not in existence anymore. One of the sad things about that is there were some Marvel characters that were still slated for 3.0 that unfortunately all we ever got was renderings. We never saw the light of day. Figures like Spider-Gwen and I believe Doctor Strange were set to be released. So, things that shall never be. But it's a fun game. If you get a chance to pick these up, especially at a reduced price, I would certainly recommend it. It's available for every system from the Wii to the PlayStation to the Xbox. Definitely a fun game. And the toy box in Disney 3.0, definitely worth your time. One of the best iterations of that particular aspect of the game. So, that's going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed this look at Infinity. I may have one more installment. I may have something else that I might talk about. But that's going to do it for all the figures. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good week, guys.